Crafter's, thanks for joining me here in the attic. So pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, and we'll get to crafting and memory keeping. Welcome to day 10 of Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. I am not sure how we got to day 10. We're in double digits. This collaboration will be over before you know it. But you still have time to go over, grab your game boards, come over to my Facebook group, and join in on the fun. All the links will be down in the description box. The official fairy guide today is Louise, so be sure to go over and check out what she's got in store for y'all, and she will give you your fairy token and your official prompt for today. If this is your first time here, this is a collaboration I'm hosting over in my Facebook group. Again, all the information will be down in the description box. There is also a playlist where you can get the information on how to join in on this fairy scavenger hunt and follow along with all the prompts that I have done to date. Today, Professor Fernscribe will be going into the world of the shadowed wings. The kit I'm playing with today is not one of the official kits for Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. It is an extra kit that I purchased from Ashley over at Tea Garden Paper Crafts, because I did want 30 different fairy worlds that Professor Fernscribe would be going to throughout these 30 days. So I needed a few extra kits. The link for this kit is down in the description box. And we're going to be seeing what Professor Fernscribe finds out about the crystals. The first thing I want to do is I've printed out some ephemera from Ashley's kit. And I've printed this page regular, and I flipped it mirror imaged so that I could back these fairy wings. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut that out, and I'm going to fussy cut out some embellishments here, and then we'll come back and we'll start assembling our page. For our crystals and the world of the shadow wings, I am doing some experimentation today and gonna go through several ways for you to get a shiny or sparkly, crystally kind of look. And something I discovered when I was fussy cutting these things, Ashley did something great for us. If you don't have mirror image on your computer or can't figure that out, these wings were already on her page as a mirror image. I didn't realize it when I did it. I mirror imaged it, but it's fine. But when I was cutting them out, I realized it. So all you have to do is print that page twice and you have your mirror image of your fairy wings. So that worked great for that. So I'm going to glue those together here in a minute and show you a technique. But the first thing I want to do is show you something that I have never played with until today. I bought this on sale when Hobby Lobby was getting rid of a lot of Tim Holtz materials, when they were making room for their own brand of things. I got this like at 70% off, and I've never had a chance to play with it. And that is what I am trying to really do for this collaboration, is play with things that I've had in my stash for a long time and give people options. Doesn't mean you need to run out and buy all these options. Again, I bought this at 75% off. So would I buy it now at full price? I'm not sure I would. But if I saw it on sale, I definitely would. I tested it out here on this little paper here, and I was able to get like a little look here that looks like these trees now have crystals in them. And so I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm going to slide this over. With the frosted crystals, it is an embossing powder, but it is a translucent embossing powder that creates more of a matte look versus a shiny look. But it gives your project texture. Like when I rub across this, I can feel the crystally texture on my paper. And since I'm using a very small design, I've got a little distress embossing pen that I just went in and colored my trees and the background where I wanted to put my crystals in this. And just like regular embossing powder, I'm going to use a piece of paper to catch my overflow so nothing's wasted. That way I sprinkle plenty of the powder on. And then tap that off, and you'll get a pretty frosted look. But that's not where that stops. You do the same thing you do with regular embossing powder. You need to heat this up. The trick is not to heat it too much. If you heat it too much, it will get really shiny. And that's not exactly the look I'm going for. You just want that frost to disappear. I'm going to try to hold this up and hope my embossing tool is not too loud, and try to see if you can see that just disappear. Now we've got this, and that powder has just kind of disappeared, but it has created that little texture that feels like crystals. And then what I went in and did is I took one of my distress crayons. I did one in a winter berry, and I've got one that's hocus pocus, and I'm going to create my crystals just by laying that down. And there's, since that texture is there now, it grabs that color from that crayon. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Hocus Pocus. The Hocus Pocus probably won't show up as much because it is very dark, but it gives me that look of the crystals in the trees. So that's one way you could get crystals. I'm going to use this as a little journaling card. So I'll come back and put something on the back of this to cover that here in a little bit. The next thing I want to experiment with is using some stickles. And stickles is like a glitter glue made for paper crafting. They have small little nozzles, and it's easy to apply. But before I do that, I want to put my wings together. And I'm also going to do this base page here. For this, I've laid down one of Ashley's background papers. And then over that, I used 2 of the journaling pages and just created a little collage of the journaling pages. And with 2 of the other journaling pages, I want to create 2 little flip-ups here to where I can flip these up and see the images underneath. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to lay those right over. And I had some washi tape that had crystals on them. I think this came from Michael's. I've had it in my stash for a while, but I thought that would be perfect to go with this page. It's a little brighter than I want, so I'm going to come back and use some of the vintage photo kind of over this a little bit to kind of tone that down. But when I'm doing a flip up or something like that, I'll just put a little bit of washi tape right here. You don't want to go over the edges, because then it won't flip up. And actually, I might not have to tone this down too much, because once I put that down, it blends in pretty well. And then flip that up. Do the same thing in here with your washi tape, just to reinforce it. And now you've got a little flip up. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And just burnish that down. And so now this page has two little flip ups that if I wanted to create some journaling spots here, I could. If I wanted to put some more embellishments there, I may come back and put some embellishments there at the end. And if so, when you'll see that in the final flip through of the journal. Now what I want to do is I'm going to slide my pages out of the way, and we're going to assemble my little fairy wings there with the crystal there. And the first thing I want to do is glue my fairy wings together, back to back. And then I'm going to finish cutting them out completely. So let's get these glued together. And I wanted to take a minute and thank everyone for joining in on the collaboration. If you are making projects and posting them in the Facebook group, that is wonderful. I know there's been a few people that have said this has been a little bit overwhelming for them because there is a lot going on with this collaboration, and I understand that. And my first thing is I'd like to tell you is don't let things like this overwhelm you. Play along as you can. If you can't do everything like everybody else is doing, don't worry about that. Just have fun. If you want to enter the giveaway, the way I'm doing this giveaway, even if you just do one project, it gets you an entry into the giveaway. If all you want to do is follow along and put your fairy tokens on your game board, that'll give you an entry. So don't let collaborations that have a lot of things going on overwhelm you. Just do the best you can and enjoy checking out all the inspiration from a lot of the people that are posting their pictures. I will leave up all the albums where everybody is posting their pictures and stuff up in my Facebook group, so that will be up for future reference, where you can always go back and get ideas for new projects. When you're working on something and you're kind of stuck for an idea, flip through those albums. There is a ton of inspiration already in there, and we are only on day 10. So by the time day 30 rolls around, man, there will be so many ideas that you can look back on. I know I often get kind of stuck and feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again and just need some new inspiration. And things like these collaborations can often be where you get that inspiration from. I'm just going back in and fussy cutting around these wings just a little bit, that I had not completely cut them out because I wanted to make sure they were lined up well. And now what I'm going to be doing here, I want to create my little fairy wing here with the body being a crystal. And I'm going to color this with my Hocus Pocus. When you're using the crayon, you can color right on your embellishment, or you can do it just with your finger from the crayon to lay down color. And these distress crayons were part of Tim Holt's holiday line. He has a holiday line that was Halloween and then one that was Christmas. So I think my pink one came from the winter Christmas line, and the Hocus Pocus came from the Halloween line. They actually have a little bit of a mica in those. I don't know if you can see that well, but it does also shimmer just a little. And I'm going to glue that down right here to make the body of my fairy. And again, I had mirror imaged these, so I'm going to glue this one onto the back here. That lined up. And I'm gonna let this dry. And while this is drying, I want to do the final way of how I'm going to create some crystal-like looks here, and I'm going to be using some of my stickles. So I'm going to grab my pages back, and I am going to be doing some work with the stickles on both the pages and my fairy. I'm going to start with the fairy, and I'm going to just add this to music once I start and kind of show you how this works, because I'm going to actually be putting a lot of stickles on here. So the way the stickles work is you will just come in, and again it has that little fine tip, and I'm going to start here. And for this one I just want to do all around the outer edge of these fairy wings on that pink outline. And you basically just draw in with it almost like you would a pen or a marker. It comes out pretty easy in a nice fine line. That's what I like about stickles. So I'm going to add some music here and finish this out. For the inner part of the wing, I am going to use some stickles in just a crystal color. Add shine to the wing here. I'm not going to cover the entire wing, just going to hit spots and highlights. I'm going to set this one aside to dry, and I'm going to work on some of the areas on my pages doing the exact same thing. And when this is dry, I'm going to flip it over and do the reverse side. I'm going to be adding my Shadowed Wings label with another little label that came from Ashley's kit, and showing you one more way how to add crystals to this page. I want to just layer these up. I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. And then I'm going to add a couple of little gems. In pink and the lavender. I'm going to put these on with some glossy accents. I generally like to use glossy accents when I'm using things like metal or anything that's really slick. I just find that it sticks really well. I'm going to go ahead and just put my glossy accents right where I want my gem to go. Just need a little dot. And this is just a little tool. It's a little wax pencil kind of thing that I think it's made for diamond dots. I think I'm just going to add those 3. So there you have it. Several ways of taking one prompt, which was the crystals. And the prompt was glitter or glitter-like items like stickles or Wink of Stella. But taking it and using it with what you have on hand. So let's see how many ways we did it. First we did the frosted crystals here, so that's 1. We did the crystal washi tape, so that's 2. We did stickles, so that's 3. We did the gems, so that's 4. And lastly, we even cut out a crystal embellishment here, so that's 5. So that's 5 different ways that you can take the same prompt and make different projects from it. So I hope this has helped with ideas so that you don't feel like you have to run out and buy something to follow along with these types of collaborations. Just think outside the box, use your stash, and create something that inspires you, and when you post it, I am sure it will inspire other people also. While this is drying, I'm going to go ahead and ink up my card and do my day 10 stamp, and we'll come back and read Professor Fernscribe's note cards for the day. Let me grab my day stamps. We're on day 10. And since I had some extra gems out, I think I am going to add a gem right here to the crystals card. I'm going to do that with the glossy accents. I'm just going to add it right here. Right there to my card. I didn't show you, I don't think, but this is a belly band, and that's where my card will go once everything's dry, and also where my little journaling card will go. I'll go ahead and stick that in there now. Alright, so let's take a look and see what Professor Fernscribe has to tell us about the world of the Shadow Wings. Day 10, World of the Shadowed Wings, the Crystals. Environmental notes: cavernous region devoid of direct sunlight, bioluminescent fungi minimal, primary light source crystalline structures embedded in rock walls, atmosphere damp, cool, echoing. Cultural observations: the shadowed wings are nocturnal fae. Their wings shimmer with a mineral dust reflecting faint light. They mine and guard crystals, using them for navigation and ritual. Communication is low-frequency vibrations combined with wing beats. Artifact notes: the crystals are cluster fragments, deep violet and pink, with shifting iridescence. They emit faint light in darkness. When struck, produce resonant chime. Likely function: focus or amplifier of vibrational magic. Pieces chosen, not merely mined. Narrative encounter: deeper into the cavern, the shadow wings circled silently above me, their wings whispering like paper fans. I dare not raise my torch. Instead, I followed the faint glow of crystals along the rock. At last, one descended, its wings folding like drapery. From its hands it released a shard into my palm. The cavern vibrated with a hum that set my teeth on edge, as though all the wings had sighed at once. The crystal was a piece of their resonance, entrusted to me. And so that ends day 10 of Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. And I hope this helped show you how to use up those items in your stash and how to take a prompt and make it work for your project and the supplies you have on hand. So be sure to hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I put up any new content. And until I see y'all again here in the attic, y'all take care.